Pranav. How are you doing today?
I'm good. Thanks for having me today. It's good to see you again.
Yeah, thank you so much for joining our podcast today. And we are so happy to have you here. And I also want to say congratulations on your new job.
Thank you so much for that. And yeah, it has been really challenging to get some part-time accounting work, but yeah, I've been working with one of my ex-colleagues from the previous co-op company, so it was easier to work with some familiar faces.
That's so great. I'm so happy for you. I remember last time we spoke and you talked about your co op and how you came to Canada. So, how about you share some of your lights on, about your journey as an international student and what led
Yeah.
you to move to Canada?
Yeah, sure. Honestly, on a very honest note, I wasn't actually the person who would have thought of moving someplace so far from home. Always been, like very close to my family, and I actually didn't leave my hometown for quite a while. So this decision didn't come easy to me, but there were a couple of things that led me to this decision. So I think I was actually going through after my bachelor's. I actually started preparing for CAT. That's an MBA entrance exam back in India, and I was about very close to get an admission in like my top 25 B schools in India. But then I took a step back and thought to myself, is it actually what I really want, or am I just following footsteps of other people who have completed their bachelor's in commerce and like doing their MBA and then doing some job that they probably don't even know why they're doing it. So I took a step back from that. I was like, okay, do I want it? And then I talked to a couple of seniors at the same B school, and they were like, it's better to, have some work experience and then probably do an MBA. Then you know what specialization you would want to do that. And that kind of stuck with me, and I withdraw my admission and I didn't go to the B school. And then I worked as an accountant for a small accounting firm, and that's where I refound my love for accounting. I've always been into accounting, and then I refound my love for that. And after a couple of months, I was like, this is too maybe it's too basic for me. I'm not growing. And then it struck me, maybe I should try something. I love accounting, but I need to study accounting more. So that's when I decided that I probably should choose Canada as a place where I can study. But not only the colleges are good, not only it fits in my budget, but I can also work and have some international experience on my profile. So that's how and why I chose Canada.
That's really inspiring because you knew what you were exactly looking for. So and you had a plan. Like you had your plan A, you had your plan B, and that's how you thought of moving to Canada. So that's really inspiring. Thank you for sharing that. I also wanted to ask, so when you reached here, and what was your like the biggest cultural shock you ever faced?
Oh, there were quite a few. I still remember the first day I landed. And as I mentioned before, that I have never been so far away from my family. That was the first thing that was like a big shock to me. Okay, this is how it feels living without your family by your side. And I was like, okay, I can get used to that, but it did take me a while. And thankfully, I had some friends and family over here that really helped me through that emotional roller coaster. I was very lucky and very blessed to have those people in my life right on the very first day. I've seen people getting duped by their own friends, and luckily, I wasn't one of them, and my friends were really very supportive. So, and the culture shock, I would say another thing that I feel was like the independence. It's like the boon and bane of shifting abroad, that you get so much independence so like at an instant, like you don't know what to do with that. So it's like a make or break thing. You can either use your independence in such a way that you know you make something very good of it, and then or you can face your independence in doing something that you don't feel aligned your goals to. And so that was a good I feel that that had its own learnings, and it really helped me grow to a person that I am today. And yeah, that was one of the biggest culture shocks. So
My cultural shock was like having dinner at 6 p.m. I came to Victoria. That was my first time. I landed in Canada in Victoria, and then so I had a paying guest kind of place. I booked for myself for 1 month, and they were serving dinner at 6 p.m. Like 5:30, they were at room, and they were like, "Hey, we are ready for dinner. Would you like to join?" I'm like,
yeah.
"Okay."
Oh
Like,
yeah, I also remember another culture shock is daylight saving time. I
yeah,
just gets dark at 4 p.m. Like, what's happening? I just woke at 11 a.m. Why am I feeling sleepy again? That's like took me a while to adjust to that because I came in like September, and it's
yeah.
like it was like 2 months into it. There was already daylight savings time, so that was a culture shock for sure.
My one more cultural shock was 9:30 p.m. and still it's like it's evening and we can go out. I'm like, what is happening here? That was
Yeah.
I actually even called my parents, like I just wanted to tell them like, it's 9:30 p.m. here. See the weather. So I used to do that. I remember back and you came in 2018 or 2019.
Me? Uh,
Yeah.
oh, I came here like 2022, so like just
Oh.
over 2 years. Yeah,
Oh,
Oh,
short
wow.
time.
yeah.
Yeah.
No,
But for
So,
me, like when I came as an international student, one of the major cultural shock I remember right now is that there was a lot of snow when I came in December, and it's good
hmm,
to see in the movies, but when you touch
yeah,
it and when you start walking through it, it's very difficult.
yeah.
the black ice.
Right, I agree.
Luckily, I haven't slipped yet, so fingers
Oh,
crossed.
Lucky
I
you.
have many times.
Me too. So many times.
Yeah.
So, I have a question, Pranav. So, why did you specifically choose Canada? Did you also had some other destination in your mind, or it was just because I know like you come from like a very prepared person, you prepared yourself well, so it was just focusing on Canada side, or you also looked out for other countries as an opportunity?
So I looked at a couple. I didn't want to go. They were like Australia, UK, and then Canada, and then USA as well. But I took USA right off the list because I don't know. It's just the violence thingy. I don't know. So I don't know. I really didn't want to go there, and then I was very interested in going to UK and have a couple of friends over there as well, and the only reason that I didn't is that I felt the cultural shock in UK might have a more impact on me compared to Canada because you have a good bunch of Indian and like Punjabis and everybody around here to make you feel like home when you are not really feeling like home. So and apart from that, I don't know. I was not never too much into Australia. I always liked winters. So and then the reason why I chose BC is two reasons. One was definitely the mountains, and we can go on hiking like an hour away from your house. So that was definitely one of the reasons why I chose BC. And the second reason, why BC and why Canada was that I found courses that really aligned with what I was planning because I wanted to study accounting a bit more before I can pursue a CPA designation because I know that I like accounting, but how far can I go was the question that I really wanted to I really wanted to answer for myself, and that's why I was like, okay, maybe I like it, but can I actually go through it, and if I go to advanced levels of studying case studies and everything, the research, would that be actually something that I'm interested in? So that was something that Canada offered along with the experience of working in your field, and that's why I chose Canada.
Well, thank you so much for sharing that. Over to you, Subin.
So, sorry. Sorry, my throat is a little bit dry.
Good time. You
I
want to
should.
drink some?
No, I'm good. I drank a lot of water. Okay. So Pranav, Ayush did mention about you a lot of things, that how you have navigated your life within a short period of time, and that's the reason we have you on board here. One of the questions I had was that you worked as a staff accountant. You did a co-op with Baker
Yeah.
Tilly, and how would you describe that experience of working in Canada first time in your field?
Okay, as I mentioned before, that I have a couple months, couple years experience working in a small accounting firm back in India, and but the thing is that I never worked in a mid-sized firm with this whole corporate life, and it was my very first experience working in a corporate life. The proper 9 to 5 job, and dressing formally. It was very new to me. So the 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 sorry what's the word I'm looking for? It's like, it's when something's new, it just feels very attractive you at first. So for I was just adjusting to it for the first couple of weeks, like, okay, this is something new and I really am enjoying it. But another thing, I started my co-op in busy season, and that's something
Mhm.
that you don't would that probably you should not advise people to do, but I really enjoyed it. We used to work like 50, 55 hours a week, and that's, basic when it comes to accounting and busy season. So, the best thing about starting in busy season, I was able to, work with the people at firm for like, so like we started at 9 a.m. and we used to stay at like 8, 9 p.m. and it helped me make so much deeper connections with people that I worked with. So it made work so much more easier. And another thing that I really felt the difference from working in a small accounting firm in India to working in an accounting firm here is that everyone's just so open to communication. You can just barge into your managers or your partners off and ask them a bunch load of questions, and no one would actually mind that. So that's something that really helped me grab those learning opportunities, and get to know deeper knowledge of accounting and how audit works. So yeah, I felt that the team that I worked with was really uh, uh, very welcoming, and it really helped me to learn much easier and in a much more deeper way.
I think the open
I think
culture
we
within the
should.
organization and within Canada has helped you a lot in
Yeah.
Yeah.
asking such questions, and I think there's a helping mentality also everywhere, wherever you go.
Hmm.
Yeah. I also have one thing. So when you were doing this overtime, you were getting paid for that overtime, right?
Uh, so that's the thing. It doesn't. So it depends on firm to firm. Luckily enough, Baker Tilly paid me overtime. So that was good on me. But not all accounting firms does that. So don't quote me on that. But but it's actually nice. I don't know. People do you say that this season's not fun, but because I feel it's the people that surround you that make work fun or not. And we used to have these ping pong games all the time to de-stress, and that was amazing too. Just like at 7 p.m. everyone would just gather around the ping pong table and like just taking out all race frustration. So that was pretty amazing.
Yeah.
That shows a great, I think, inclusive work culture,
Yeah.
which I would
Yes.
say. Yeah, yeah, that's amazing.
For the international students out there, would you be able to just jot down the process, what you followed, and how did you come up? Because many people wonder after, maybe during their breaks and all, where to apply, what to apply. Will I be eligible for a co-op, or I should go for some odd job and some work, some hours there? But you have chosen a different path. So would you be able to explain the process you followed?
Um, so I feel it was some research before I chose my college. So I really wanted to have something that could give me that internship or the co-op experience. So I had a couple of I had shortlisted to a couple of colleges. I had I had this another college Langara, there's another college KPU, and there's another, and then there's Douglas. So I had shortlisted to these three colleges, and the reason I chose BC again was because they were giving me this 2 years diploma that I could take my time to learn accounting and deepen my skills and develop them over the longer period of time. And what I really felt, the only I cannot pinpoint something, but I would say that my research of choosing a college that can help me have that experience was one. And then the college's career center was amazing. They were so helpful, available for students all the time. And then they would have these resume letters, networking sessions as to how you can prepare a resume, prepare a cover letter, how to network with people, how to build a LinkedIn profile, and so on and so forth. But I feel that that was but even after having that career center, not a lot of people would take initiative. So it ultimately boils down to you having that motivation that you need this co-op or you need this for yourself. And so I had that pre-planned as to this is what I want, and I just stuck to it.
I think that's one of the positive approach because even when I came in, because the kind of resumes or maybe the approach we need to have within Canada is quite different from the country we come. In terms of resume, where you have certain points to be included and certain not to be included, even your LinkedIn profile. So I was not using LinkedIn much previously, but after
Yeah.
coming to Canada, I started using
Yeah.
more effectively
Yeah.
because I found that there are resources and people do reach out to you for
Hmm.
opportunities also. Such many things can happen through LinkedIn, and you have great networks with people whom you can talk as a mentor, and they would be happily supporting us in whatever we are doing.
Hmm.
I think,
This is happening through LinkedIn, by the way.
yeah,
We all are meeting here.
yeah, and we are meeting through LinkedIn, right?
Yeah, I feel that's what Canada does to you. Like I never had a LinkedIn profile back in India, so my brother's in the industry for like quite a long time. He doesn't have the LinkedIn, have that a good of a LinkedIn profile, but he's doing pretty good for himself. But it's just like for especially North America. I have seen whenever I'm interviewing with one firm, someone from that firm does look at my LinkedIn profile before the interview, or maybe when the interview is scheduled a day before that. So they
Yeah.
do look at your LinkedIn profile. They do see what kind of people are you connected with, and how active are you, and like what have you done apart from just having this diploma courses or having this bachelor courses. What else are you participating in? So everyone that I've interviewed with, 90% of the recruiters have seen my LinkedIn profile.
Okay. And if we try to break down the process which you mentioned now, so firstly would be the goal setting, what you had. Like you had a goal that I need to get into some company, and you started taking that approach to the career centers or maybe outside and trying to understand how you could prepare your resumes. And then through those tailoring, you applied for these companies. And I believe the interview preparation process also they might help you, the career centers, right?
Yeah.
So this would be a great approach to co-ops, right? For co-ops.
Yeah, if I had to even if I had to deep dive into it, I was like, I had a couple of people. I have my sister, and then she was also in accounting, and she
Mhm.
kept helping me throughout my process. And then I have another friend of mine who's in the same field, and he was kind of a mentor to me for the longest time. And every time he was the one who actually pushed me to these networking events. So you do need that little push, and even for you to find these people, you need to go out there and get into those uncomfortable conversations. So yeah, I feel surrounding yourself with people that help you push is also very important apart from everything else.
Right, I agree.